the first video recently, and you read the comments.
Yes.
How did that make you feel?
That made me feel really good. It showed that there's a lot of people out there supporting me, and it shows that just complete strangers are standing next to me going, "Good job, you can do this, keep going. I'm so proud of you."
From a teenager at risk of homelessness to designing and building his very own tiny home, David's journey is nothing short of inspiring. But this isn't just about a house. It's about creating a future with his own hands. Today, David takes the next steps, diving into the design and systems that will make this tiny house a home.
So, what did your future look like just a month ago compared to where you are today?
A month ago, I was dead set on becoming a cop, and today I don't see that anymore. Maybe in the future, but not in the foreseeable future. I mean, I'm learning so much that I can use anywhere in life, and yeah, I just got to go through and go, well, what's important to me? What would I enjoy doing? And
people want to be happy when they work.
That's what I'm looking to. I know it's not always like that, and I haven't had a job where it has been.
In episode 1, we introduced David, a young man determined to change his future. With the support of his Montrose, Colorado community and sponsors like Casa of Montrose and the tiny house experts at TrailerMade, the walls of David's tiny house came to life. Now the journey continues as he learns about the critical systems that will bring his dream home to completion.
But I'm getting to the point where I'm enjoy like this one. I enjoy it. This makes me happy. I want to get up and go to work today. I mean, I want one of those jobs.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yes.
When you think about where you started, what does it mean to see how far you've come here in just a few weeks?
I feel like I've learned a lot, like actually adulting. That has been a huge hill that I had to climb, and I feel like I'm hitting the peak of it. And
what's one of the things that the project has taught you about what's possible in your life?
That it looks like it's a lot, but it really just takes time. Everything takes time.
Sure does. What's something new you've learned about making an electrical system efficient for a tiny house?
Actually, a lot. I honestly didn't think that it would be as similar. I didn't see it as like a house, like a tiny home. I know the word, but I didn't realize the meaning. And the more and more I work on this project, it's like, this is something a house would have, just small.
With the framing complete, it's time to focus on the systems that make a house livable. Today, David is sitting down with Wyatt, our designer, to map out the electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and insulation plans. Each decision will shape the functionality, comfort, and efficiency of his tiny home.
It makes it a safer environment, and it's not like I have a ball of cords going around in my wall.
An efficient electrical system is the backbone of any home, and for a tiny house, it's even more important to get it right. David is learning to design a system that runs on RV 50-amp service while still providing the functionality of a traditional home.
What's the coolest thing you've discovered about how electricity works in a tiny house?
And that how much you can actually set up with the electricity in there. I didn't be honest, I thought it was going to be like an outlet, a set of switches, that's it.
While David is forging his career path in the trades, my 16-year-old son Gavin is also building his future in digital media and filmmaking. Watching Gavin grow his skills as a content creator has been one of the most rewarding parts of this project.
What have you learned about how plumbing systems need to work in a tiny house compared to, say, a full-size home?
They're a pain in the ass. There's a lot of turning and knots and all sorts of stuff in them.
In a tiny house, plumbing is all about making the most of limited space. Today, David is working with Ferguson Plumbing and Mechanical Supply to design a reliable, space-saving system. From low-flow fixtures to compact layouts, every element is tailored to meet the demands of minimalist living.
Like today, I had a little project to do, connecting 90s and straights and making this turn this way and cutting this hole to make this work. And there's so many projects to just the plumbing, but it's not like you don't see gain in it.
What's something you never realized about plumbing until you started working on this project?
It's a pain in the ass. I honestly thought it'd be a lot easier because, like I said, I thought it would be more simple. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here. Okay.
Sure.
Not this is like a house. Let's make it like a house. Like that's the part I'm still like, it's pretty cool.
Comfort in a tiny home depends on careful planning and the right materials. David is learning how insulation and HVAC systems work together to keep his house energy efficient in all seasons.
Why is insulation so important, do you think, in keeping a tiny house comfortable?
Well, it's like a house compared to a camper. A camper during the winter is going to be colder than a house during the winter, and a house during the summer is going to be cooler than a camper during the summer.
Thanks to the tiny house experts at Trailer Made Custom Trailers, his tiny house will stay cozy in the winter and cool in the summer while maintaining a suitable thermal envelope.
In a tiny home, the insulation is similar to a house, and you can customize it in ways like I'm not going to be having a tiny home with the insulation made for Antarctica. I mean, it'll be this when winter comes, it'll be warm. When summer hits, I can keep it cool.
David's tiny house isn't just a construction project. It's a journey of growth and learning. Every step, from framing the walls to planning the systems, is a reminder of how far he's come and what he's building for his future.
What's one skill that you've learned during this project that you're excited to use in the future?
I think knowing where all the wiring, knowing where all the plumbing and everything is in my tiny home will make it so it's like, oh, I am more than sure I will use skills that I learned from here to do it.
David is a part of a larger movement, the tool belt generation. Across the country, young people are rediscovering the trades as a path to independence and opportunity. By learning skills like plumbing, electrical work, and carpentry, they're not just building homes, they're building their futures. And David's story is proof of what's possible when you put on the tool belt and get to work.
When you think about everything you've built so far, what's the most meaningful part for you?
I think getting the walls up and then getting the wiring and the plumbing in and just the steps we're taking toward it. I mean, step one was the floor. Or, well, technically, step one was the trailer itself.
And what would you say to someone who feels like they don't have options or opportunities right now?
I would tell them it may not feel like you don't have an option or you don't have an opportunity or the world is changing and you aren't ready to go with it. But step back and look at the big picture where you will have an opportunity. There's always something you can do to fix it. There's always something you can do to get away from it. And it's just your choice.
So maybe you'd speak to somebody about opportunities right now, about choices.
We have every day a choice pops up. I want to raise my kids in this area. I want to teach them these things. Those are like all life choices. And I feel like life choices are the hardest option and the hardest thing that you have to go through.
A lot of people in today's world don't think they have those choices available for them. What would you say to those people who are watching right now that don't feel like they have those choices?
If you step back and you look at the opportunities, there's going to be a choice. If you step back and look at what you've done in the past compared to what you're doing in the future, to the options you have there, that's a choice. You always have a choice in everything you do. If work looks like it's going to be tough today, you have the choice. You can either make it hard or it can be hard and you can enjoy it. There's a choice in everything you have to do and a choice in everything you will ever do.
Hard work is good work.
Exactly.
What's the next part of the project that you're excited to tackle?
I cannot wait to get these walls up and insulated. I think that is going to be the best part. I hope we'll find out. I'm really excited about that.
Getting the skins up and seeing the insulation come in and kind of take shape as a box instead of a skeleton.
Exactly. Right now, we are on the bones and the veins and the little bit of organ. Here we're putting up the skin and the stuffing in the middle. So
that's a well said analogy. Good job. When this house is finished, what's it going to mean to you to know that you built it yourself?
It's going to mean a lot to me. It's going to mean that I made the choice to not quit and not give up and not stop. It's going to show that even through rough times in my life, that I learned and excelled and gave myself the opportunity to keep going and not going, yeah, I can't do this today.
With systems designed and materials ready, David's tiny house is one step closer to becoming a home. In the next episode, we'll see these plans come to life as insulation is installed and systems begin to take shape. David's journey is far from over, but every step brings him closer to his dream.
What's something you're most proud of from everything you've worked on so far?
I feel like with everything that I've worked on on my tiny home, I feel like what I'm most proud of is the skills that I've worked on and learned.
With tens of thousands of people already watching this story and showing support for you, what's one thing you want them to know about you as they follow this journey?
I wouldn't be doing this without anybody. And the people who are watching are becoming my people. They are the people who show that there is interest in this and there is need for this, and through everything, it's a good thing to happen.
You watched the video, the first video recently, and you read the comments.
Yes.
How did that make you feel?
That made me feel really good. It showed that there's a lot of people out there supporting me, and it shows that just complete strangers, I don't know anybody there, are standing next to me going, good job, you can do this, keep going, I'm so proud of you. And it makes me happy to know that I have a whole community that I know nobody in. Yeah. Stand there and go, keep going, dude, keep going, you're so close, you're doing super good.
You got a pretty big cheering section out there.
Yeah, and I don't know a single one of them.
Well, I think they're going to get to know you through this process, and that's why they've joined us, and we're excited to have them here to watch your journey alongside. So keep up the great work, man. We'll see you in the next one.
And I guess I'll see you then.
All right, buddy.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of David's Blueprint. To catch up on the series, check out the full playlist linked below. And don't forget to share this video to inspire others. Together, we're building more than a house. We're building hope for the future.